All right, here comes our next fairy tale. We are going to read Rapunzel. And this story is on my tablet, so again, I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to turn my tablet around so that you can see the pictures. All right, so Rapunzel, retold by Catherine McCafferty, illustrated by Clive Sponge. All right, here we go. Once there lived a husband and wife who loved each other very much. They were very happy together, but they longed to share their happiness with a child. Years passed, and it seemed as if they would have only each other as family. Then one day they learned that the wife was going to have a baby. The husband promised himself he would do everything he could to please his wife. As she waited for her baby to arrive, the wife often looked at the beautiful garden next to their home. Bright flowers and fragrant herbs filled the garden, but people stayed out of it, for the lovely garden belonged to a powerful witch. Every day the wife saw a crisp Rapunzel growing in the garden. She could almost taste the fine salad it would make, but she and her husband were poor. They would never be able to buy Rapunzel from the marketplace, so every day the garden reminded the wife of what she could not have. "Why are you so sad?" asked her husband. "The Rapunzel grows so thick and fresh in the witch's garden. I cannot think of anything else." The husband could not bear to see his wife unhappy. That night he slipped into the witch's garden and took some Rapunzel. It was dangerous and wrong, he knew, yet when he thought of his wife's sadness, it seemed worth the risk. Indeed, when he went home, his wife hugged him and thanked him. She ate her Rapunzel salad, and both husband and wife were content. But soon the wife longed for more Rapunzel. A second time the husband crept into the witch's garden. This time the witch caught him. "Please," begged the husband, "do not punish me. I take the Rapunzel only so that my wife will be happy. She carries our child and she craves Rapunzel salad." The witch thought for a moment. Then she said, "You may take as much Rapunzel as you want, but when your child is born, you must give her to me." "Perhaps she will forget," the husband thought. "Perhaps when the child is born, we can offer her something else." That doesn't sound like a good idea. But the witch did not forget. And when the baby was born, the husband and wife had nothing else to offer. The witch took their baby and named the daughter Rapunzel and raised the child as her own daughter. Rapunzel grew more lovely with each passing year. "She is my most beautiful possession," the witch thought, "and soon I will have to lock up my treasure, for the time will come when a young man will want to marry Rapunzel and will steal her away." The witch did not say this to Rapunzel. She simply led Rapunzel to a tall tower that had no door or stairs. "This will be your home now," said the witch. So she trapped her in that tower. And so the witch kept Rapunzel hidden away for years. No one ever saw Rapunzel's beauty. The witch was so careful that she would not even create steps for her to climb up onto the tower. Instead, when she visited, the witch called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." And Rapunzel slipped her long golden braids around a peg by the window so that the witch could climb up. But the witch's visits were not enough, and Rapunzel felt very lonely. When the witch was away, only the birds came to visit and listen to her sing. So look at that. The witch won't even give herself steps to go up to the tower. Instead, she climbs up her hair. So she's afraid that someone else is going to go up the tower and steal away her Rapunzel. One day as Rapunzel was singing, a prince from a nearby kingdom heard her. He rode to the tower and looked up at the beautiful woman in the window. While the prince watched and listened, love grew in his heart. The prince returned day after day to hear Rapunzel sing. He tried to think of a way to reach her and tell her of his love. As he puzzled over this, he heard the witch call to Rapunzel. The prince hid and saw the witch climb up Rapunzel's braids. The next night, the prince stood beneath the tower. He called softly, trying to imitate the witch. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." When Rapunzel's braids dropped down, the prince climbed into the tower. Rapunzel was frightened. She had never seen another person except for the witch. The prince spoke gently to her. He told Rapunzel that he had fallen deeply in love with her, and he spoke of his kingdom and the family they could have there. Rapunzel listened with her heart, and she gave the prince her hand in marriage. The prince visited every evening, always bringing a rose for his wife. Together they planned Rapunzel's escape from the tower. Rapunzel did not tell the witch about the prince, for she knew that the witch would never let her go. Rapunzel hid the roses too, scattering the petals among her dresses. During her lonely days, their scent reminded Rapunzel of the prince's love. But one day, as the witch climbed into the tower, a rose petal fell from Rapunzel's dress. Uh-oh. The witch saw it and learned of the prince's visits. "How quick he is to steal what is mine," she hissed. "I have kept you safe from others all these years, and now you wish to leave? Very well, go!" The witch cut off Rapunzel's braids and sent her away to live in the forest. Oh my goodness. That night when the prince called, the witch smiled an evil smile. She threw down Rapunzel's braids, and by the time the prince saw the witch, he could not escape. "Rapunzel is gone, and so shall you be gone," the witch laughed as the prince fell from the high tower. The prince landed among sharp thorns that scratched his eyes and blinded him. Without his sight and his beloved Rapunzel, he wandered wherever his uncertain steps took him. Every day he wept for all that he had lost. Seasons passed. One spring day the prince heard a song whispering among the trees. The memory of Rapunzel's voice stirred within him. Listening carefully, the prince moved toward the song. His uncertain steps grew steady and strong. For when he found the singer, he found Rapunzel and 2 children. Alone in her forest home, Rapunzel had given birth to the prince's twins. Rapunzel wept with joy and held the prince close. As her tears fell upon his face, they healed his eyes. In that moment, the witch's power over Rapunzel and the prince ended. Together, the family left the sadness and loneliness of the forest, and together they made their home in the prince's kingdom. Rapunzel and the prince filled their days with the sound of their children's laughter and the sweet song of love. So what about that? That was a very different story than the Rapunzel we're used to, because, of course, we know the Disney movie. And that Rapunzel was definitely a different story. It had the same idea. It had the witch that was locking her up in the tower and didn't want her to leave. And the prince did come and try and, make his way into her heart. Although the relationship between the prince and, not the prince, what was he in the movie? Whatever he was, it's been a while since I've seen Tangled. Their relationship was definitely a little different. This was more of a love story, and they lived happily ever after. And that's what fairy tales say, that once upon a time and happily ever after. So we're going to come up with a little bit of a Rapunzel challenge in just a few minutes. I hope you have your thinking hats on, because it is going to involve a tower and maybe figuring out how Rapunzel can leave. All right, so we will see you in just a few minutes for your challenge, and we'll see how it goes. All right, see you in a few.